Arsenal kick off their Europa League trips with a tie in Vienna. I mean, I'm absolutely gutted as a fan that we can't travel because what a wonderful city if we would have been able to go. But thankfully, I'm going to get you all the details ahead of Arsenal's trip against Rapid Wien. Hello, welcome to the Gooner Talk. Back again with you guys for another show. I am joined by our good friend Wolfgang. How are you doing, mate? Are you well?
Hello, everybody. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I'm fine again after my flu, and I'm
Yes,
ready to be here with you to talk about my team and your team.
recovered well. Do you want to just quickly? I know you've been on the channel before, but for those listeners that haven't, didn't get to see you previously, do you want to just introduce yourself and tell people what it is you do exactly?
Yeah, my name is Wolfgang. As explained before, I'm meanwhile close to 43 years old, football intermediary, professional football scout, and head researcher for Football Manager Sporting Detective for Germany and Austria. Yeah, and I'm a big supporter, lifetime member since 1984 for the overnight team from Arsenal London, SK Rapid Vienna. The champion, the record champion for Austria, based in Vienna. But we can talk a little bit more about this team a bit later. I give my hand.
So, in terms of the last time you came on, of course, we were doing a tactical breakdown looking at Hungarian Dominik Szoboszlai and looking into him. We also had a chat with Drew about kind of the Red Bull project in both Germany and Austria. As a Rapid fan, Red Bull Salzburg kind of dominate the Austrian league and have done with the academy they've got, with the money they've got. Is it frustrating being in that scenario that you know that there's that the competition for the title is not going to be as say close as it might have been had Red Bull not purchased the club?
It's very frustrating because Rapid is the famous team, or was the famous team in Austria. Really big history, won 32 times the championship here. So very popular, have a lot of supporters in Europe, in Austria especially, and most supporters here. And since Red Bull stepped into the business, meanwhile, 15 years ago, and they won a lot of titles and also the cup competitions because of the money. Uh, or let me say, not only because of the money, because of the money in the first years. So as they took over the former club, Austria Salzburg, with a lot of money from Red Bull, they needed some time to beat this team as they're right now. So they spent a lot of unnecessary, unneeded money for the first squads. They had a lot of players from foreign countries. They didn't look about the youths in the first times. Now it's better, as you know, it's one of the best
Yeah.
academies in the world. But in the early days, so we say here in Austria, they bought the titles with a lot of money from Red Bull, from Mateschitz. Uh, it's very sad for me to see this how it happened because the other teams didn't have the chance to do the same to buy a lot of good players, two good players maybe for this league. So the average players played for the other teams like Rapid, like Sturm, like Austria Vienna, but the best players went to Salzburg. Also, the young players in Austria later went from their home teams to Salzburg to get more money. And so I say they bought the titles, and it's really really sad to see how it happened, and that all the other teams don't have a good chance to champion again the next years. I will say I can see Salzburg will be the champion in the next 5, maybe 10 years permanently. Uh,
Yeah.
it's hurts in my heart. Absolutely, I'm a supporter, and there's nothing better than rugby for me.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest, as it is. They have the money, they have the facilities there. It's great. The club is shut down. It's great.
Yeah. I think that when you look at sort of though what Rapid have done, like they have still been competitive on the European scene as well. They've
Yeah,
taken some scalps against us. I mean, talk to me about the history of Rapid in Europe.
yeah. Rapid is one of the oldest clubs in Austria. Uh, European competition. They played a lot of European competition in the last years. Played in the EuroLeague. against Inter Milano, against Glasgow, against Valencia. Valencia, yeah, that was a big defeat. In Valencia some years ago, I was there live in the stadium.
Oh, no.
I will never forget this scene. We lost there 6-0, and got the first 5 goals I got in the first 20 minutes. So I was standing there in the stadium and said, wow, that's not my team.
Yeah.
But as you see, Rapid is always in the competitions, the European competitions, and I guess nobody in England, in London, will know this club. Maybe, yeah, only few fans will know it.
I did.
I know, I know, mate. Not many, as I know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a lot of teams know Salzburg. And a lot of guys know only Salzburg. That's okay. That's okay for me. But that's a chance for all the other teams in Austria to make a name there. Like Lask did it last year, and then they lost against Manchester United. Okay, that's not a problem. But Rapid is a good team. Rapid is a European competition team, and everything can happen in this competition. And Arsenal is.
Yeah, I think that when you look at sort of the result against Valencia was obviously massively detrimental. And I remember watching that game a few years back and thinking, I've seen this Rapid side play a million miles better than they're performing in Spain. So I was a bit confused to sort of see that performance. But at the same time, Rapid have taken some good results in Europe. I would argue that amongst the other two sides in the group, Dundalk and Molde, I would see them as arguably the favourites to go up with Arsenal, personally.
I agree with you, yeah.
How do you think they stack up against the other two sides?
To be honest, I don't have any idea about Dundalk. Dundalk is yeah.
It's an unknown. Yeah.
Unknown for me. Absolutely unknown for me. I know it because I'm head researcher for Austria. I know the team from Football Manager. But I've never seen a game from this team, never seen a game live on TV. So don't have any idea about this team. Molde is tricky. Norwegian team, good players there. Also an unknown team for a lot of people, also here in Austria. But Norwegian football is good. And I guess they could make the run between place 2 and place 3. So between Rapid Vienna and Molde, there will be the second place to go up to the next stage. I will see the chances more 60% for Rapid and 40% for Molde. Second place. Arsenal is clear for me, number 1 there. They will win the group. I think they will not lose a game. They will not lose a point. Dundalk, I don't like to be rude to them. Don't know them, but Irish football.
It's not. I mean, when you look at the best Irish players, they're not playing in Ireland. I mean, but if you look at a lot of like Austria's national team, and now I know a lot of Austrian players have sort of moved to the Bundesliga, and we've seen, of course, other players move to other leagues as well. Yeah, most of them have. But still, a lot of them still do play in Austria as well, and there's a lot of talent that comes through that does play. I mean, when I remember RB Rebel Salzburg sort of academy first started producing, a lot of Austria's teams started to get made up of a lot of those young players that were coming through Salzburg. So. So I remember the likes of like Valentin Lazaro when he was coming through at Salzburg as well. You always had the likes of like Geb as well, the midfielder. He was sort of a mainstay there too. So it's certainly good to see that I think Irish football will improve. I think that they've, in general, with like the manager, for instance, they've now brought in the manager of the under-21s, I believe it was, that's now taken over the national team. So hopefully that starts to improve things too. He'll have a better knowledge of the players that are also in Ireland, not just players that are playing in the Premier League in Scotland and Wales and etc. So it's going to be interesting to see sort of where Dundalk move. We have an Irish guy called Owen who comes on the show quite often, and he talks about them in quite high praise. I work with a guy who's, I believe, is from Dublin, and he talks about Dundalk quite highly as well. So it's interesting to sort of see where they go. But as you say, I think Arsenal will arguably, without too much trouble, get through as group leaders, but then it will be between Rapid and Molde to sort of battle out for that second place spot. So we obviously on the previous shows we always usually do a lineup, and we've done the same thing. The difference is this time because we've got a guest on. We're going to talk through what you feel that Rapid could line up with. So talk me through your team selection here.
Yeah, okay. Let me explain this team. As I said, it's only my thoughts about this. Could be another formation too, but I guess it will be this formation. And if we see there, we have the goalkeeper, Richard Strebinger. He is former national keeper here in Austria. I guess he was in the team, he didn't play. But he's a good keeper. In my opinion, he's on his peak. He will stay there or will go to a club similar to Rapid Vienna, maybe in a foreign country. But let me take a look into the defense. We have Maxi Ullmann, very fast winger. He is a wing back, but also can play as a fullback. So we have seen right now with the 4-4-1-1 or 4-5-1 formation. They could also play Ullmann and Stojkovic, play a little bit in front, close to Arase and Ritzmeier, and they will go a little bit forward. But I don't guess this against Arsenal. So I have decided this will be, or similar to this will be the formation. Let's talk about this. So I said Strebinger is good keeper, good goalkeeper. Some weakness, of course, but he's stable. Ullmann, he's a great left-sided defender, also playing for the national team right now. Great man, pace, acceleration, and good crosses. Inside, we have Kreimer and Hoffmann. Why did I say Hoffmann? To be honest, I'm not the greatest fan of Hoffmann. Okay. But if I look on the bench, there is Matteo Barak, he's a Croatian defender, and Mario Sonnleitner. He's much experienced. He could maybe play also there, but he's now too old. He's too slow for the European competition for the Arsenal strikers. I can imagine Aubameyang against Sonnleitner. It's not.
Yeah,
he would kill him there. I would guess. Of course, he would. Sonny is a good guy. Sonny is a great guy. He's very popular in the club, and he did so much for this club. But it's over. It's over for him to play in this competition, to play at this level of football. If he would play the last 50 minutes, it's fine for me. But he can play from the start now. I don't like to be, I don't like to talk bad about him. But his time is over. So I guess it's Hoffmann and it's Kreimer. Maybe it's Barak and it's Kreimer. One of these two guys will play in the defense with Kreimer. Kreimer is a young guy. He's only 19 years old now. Stepped up from the second team last season to the first team. And since this season, he's number one defender. Nobody knows why. Make a big step up in summer, and he's now number one. So, and with the other side, we have Stojkovic. Stojkovic is right wing back from Serbia. He came to Rapid Vienna from Red Star Belgrade. He's, how can I say, a typical Balkan footballer. He is aggressive, he's rude, but he's clever. And so he's maybe wrong on this position for me.
Okay.
But I'm not the coach. I'm only a supporter. He should change the position with Arase, and Arase should change the other side. But we will come back to this a little bit later. Let's go back in the midfield. We have the Lubicic, the new captain, since Stefan Schwab left the club to PAOK Saloniki. He's the new captain from Rapid Vienna. Young guy, great guy. I like him. He has really good first touch. He's always concentrated on the ball. He don't like to do the very difficult passes.
Dirty work? Okay.
He likes to play simple passes rather than to do the long passes. But he can also do it. So it's not like to say he can't, but he is more he's more to protect the defense, to avoid errors. If in the offense, he's more smooth with the ball and tries to step back a little bit with the speed. But also he can be also very quick on the ball and make the quick pass in the front to Funtas. And there is Petrovic. Petrovic is a young guy who came last winter before Corona started from Slovenia. At the first matches I've seen him, I thought, oh, what is he? I didn't like him. Maybe it was because of Corona. Maybe it was after all the situations there. I didn't see any in him. This season, start of the season, we only have played 8 games right now. He showed me, yeah, there is something inside. He can do something. And a lot of on the ball. He has a good vision. And what he can back Lubicic.
Right.
And former player Stefan Schwab, who played this position, didn't do this because he was more a number 8 than number 6. So Lubicic had to do more defense work with the ball and without the ball. And Schwab was more the creator. He also came back, but he was more the creator for the team. He's gone now. Happy. And so we have Petrovic now inside, and he's more stable for the team. He's younger, he's more stable, and I guess he's better on the ball. We go outside on the flanks. There is Ritzmeier. He came in from Barnsley on a loan deal a week ago because Thomas Murk left the club on the last day from the transfer window to Pauk Solniki to meet his friend Stefan Schwab. But he's also gone, and he's the pass to me. So we look now at Ritzmeier. Ritzmeier could also play on the other side with Arazi. So Arazi could play left or right. I've decided to say Ritzmeier will play right, Arazi will play left. Also possible that Funtas will play on left side. Ritzmeier will go inside Arazi on the right. So they 3 could change the positions in the game if they play in this formation. We will say Ritzmeier will play on the left side. Ritzmeier, as I say, he came from Barnsley. Good player. Not seen so much from him at his time in Barnsley, but a lot of as he played in Wolfsburg the season before. He is good on the ball. He's fast. He has good crosses, of course, but he is in front of the goal like a killer machine.
Right.
He's like a striker. So he sees a chance, and he likes to take the opportunity. He do the shot on the goal. I think he's good on this position there, but I'm not the coach. The other side, Kelvin Arazi. Kelvin Arazi, a young guy from Austria. He's from Nigeria, original. I guess his father is from Nigeria and mother is from Austria. He's Austrian. He has everybody at Rapid Vienna said some years ago how he was a talented player, a big player. He is, but he had really, really big troubles to step in the first team. So he got loaned out 2 times to a second league team. Didn't really good there. His team, he played there, but nobody said, this is this guy. He will bring Rapid in to the next championship in the next years. Yeah. So he played there, and last year he went to SV Ried in the second league, and after 2 games, Didi Kübauer, the coach, took him back to Rapid Vienna. And since this day, he was in the starting 11. Don't know what happened, but he was in the starting 11, and he showed his big talent on the field. Right now, he has a little bit of hanger, and he's not fish, not meat. He's a good player, but also he is sometimes even on the pitch. He's hidden there. He's standing alone, and so he is for me a little bit like the choker. So what can you do? Not do. The next person, Taxiacintas Funtas, or short name Taxi Funtas. It's not a taxi, it's a rocket. Came from the second league team St. Pölten last years on a free transfer because of the coach Didi Kübauer. He knew him before from this team and said he has to come. And from this first minute, favorite of the fans. And he was also the best player last season, scored the most goals and had the most assists. So he's a small striker, but very fast and pretty. And he's also is he in the box, he will shoot. And he could be very dangerous also now my name, also for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because he's really, really, really fast and tricky. Yeah, and in front, there is a newborn star from for myself, it's Ercan Kara. I'm my newborn star. Ercan Kara came from the third league team in 2018 in the second league to SV Horn. Got a lot of goals in the third league there. I knew him from some scouting. They told he's a great striker. Has really the possibility to play once in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
And so he made the next step in the second league to Horn, and he destroyed the league there. In winter 2020, Vienna decided to say, okay, we take Kara our team and paid only a small fee for this guy. Look now he's number one striker. And the 1.8 million striker, Koya Kitagawa from Japan, is only sitting on the bench.
Right.
So you see what this guy did. The performance from this guy was, fantastic. He's a machine. He's big, he's tall, he's fast, and block the ball. He can block the defenders. To give Funtas, the fast striker, the chance to go inside the box between the defenders. So I guess with this formation, Rapid could have a good chance to play against Arsenal. It will maybe not be good enough for win, but let's see what happens. Maybe a point.
Yeah. I mean, what you look at sort of the pace that you talk about with Kara and Fountas in behind. Was Fountas at Olympiacos, or am I thinking of a different one?
He is from the Red Bull Academy. He joined Red Bull Salzburg in the early
yes,
days.
of course. And then he was gone through for Panionios, which is a Greek side, and then he went to Grosabach, which is in Germany, I believe. Yeah, and then St. Pölten, which is where a lot of Arsenal fans remember Ryu Maiichi, who was the young Japanese guy I went to, and has now ended up at Rapid Wien. So it's really, he's been all over the place himself. But Kara is interesting. I have a question from the chat that I want to ask before we move on to the Arsenal team, from Antonio Bank, who says, please ask Wolfgang about Yusuf Demir.
My God likes to come inside. You have seen first talk. Oh my God! So I've waited for this question. Really, I didn't spoke about him before because I knew there will be a question about this guy, Yusuf Demir. What can I say about Yusuf Demir? A lot of people here in Austria say he's the greatest talent Austria ever had.
Wow.
Slow down.
Yeah. Sign him up, guys. Sign him up.
He's a top player in his young age. He's 17 years old. I've never seen a player like him before in Austria play. But I don't like to say he will be the best player Austria ever had before. He is too young to step in these boots. They're big boots. And he's not ready to step in these boots. I like to tell the people, please don't rush him in his career. He needs time. He needs a lot of time. If he has this time, and he has the Rapid, he will be a really, 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 really good player. He is
special. What's his position? He's a forward.
He is midfielder and forward. He's a free ghost. He is a free rider there. He can do whatever he likes.
Wow.
Because I don't like to. I do it right now. That's not good. I don't like to hype him.
Yeah.
But
keep an eye on him, people. Keep an eye on him because he sounds like he's going to be some talent. But hold your expectations is probably what's fair to say. But thank you, Antonio Bank, for the questions. Clearly, you're into your Austrian football. I like that. Let's look at the Arsenal side of things. This is a weird one for me because Arteta took over Arsenal in December. So he took over when the Europa League group stages had finished and then gone into the sort of the knockout rounds, and so we didn't really get to see sort of his mindset about the group stage, how he might rotate things, the type of players that he'll play. I have a feeling that with Leicester and Manchester United, the next two Premier League games coming up, that he will rotate. So this is a team that I've gone for.
I am assuming that there's going to be a lot of differences. One of them's a big risk because I'm not sure whether he's fit yet, and there's a couple of other questions as well. So Runnison in goal to make his debut, arguably, since signing from Dijon in France. Cedric played for the under-23s, miraculously, as a 29-year-old the other day against Manchester United in the 3-3 draw. Louise, I think, comes in because at the moment our situation with centre-backs is that we've lost Holding in the warm-up to the game against Manchester City, so Holding is injured. Gabriel, I feel, will get a rest ahead of the Leicester game. Marie is back in full training now. Whether that means he is fit enough to come straight back into the team, I don't know. So Marie is a big question mark at this point in time, but I know he's someone that Arteta likes and he's someone that Arteta wants to get more minutes from. Kolasinac could have left Arsenal on the last day of the transfer window to Bayer Leverkusen. That deal broke down and didn't happen, so I imagine he's going to get some rotation and some minutes in the Europa League group stages this season. The midfield is where it gets a bit tricky, because of course Arsenal's midfield is typically made up of Granit Xhaka and Dani Ceballos, but now that we've brought Thomas Partey in, he will obviously be featuring a lot more often. Now, I'm a bit conflicted about Partey in this game. You've got a choice. You can either play Partey and give him the minutes to help him integrate ready for the Leicester match, or you can give him a full week's worth of training without the risk of a full match in midweek, ready for that Leicester game. I've gone for the latter. I'm slightly expecting that Partey will not play in this game. However, I would say it wouldn't surprise me if Thomas Partey was selected for the game, just to give him that first team experience before leading into the Leicester game. And for that reason, I've gone with our good pal Ainsley Maitland-Niles, or as he's known on the show here, Mainsley, playing in the midfield alongside Mohamed El Neni, who didn't obviously play against Manchester City with Ceballos coming in, but he did start the season very well against Fulham. And then Joe Willock, who again played with the under-23s the other day, has been limited in his first team football ever since we've kind of signed some more midfielders in there with Ceballos coming in and El Neni coming back from loan. But Willock getting a chance in kind of that attacking midfield role that he has kind of been suited to really over the last few weeks or so, last few years I should say. And then the front line's very, very youthful. Of course, no Pepe, no Willian, no Aubameyang, no Alexandre Lacazette. Lacazette was someone that I toyed with putting in because he obviously didn't start against Manchester City. Aubameyang played through the left-hand side with Willian as a kind of a false nine. But Nketiah, after breaking the England under-21 scoring record, I feel is in with a good shot of getting some minutes in this game, alongside Saka, who is arguably the best player on the pitch against Manchester City and had a very, very good game. He could come in. We could also see either of Willian or Pepe field in this front three. It's very unpredictable what we could do with our front lineup. And then Reiss Nelson, who could have left on loan at the end of the transfer window to a host of clubs. There were plenty of clubs that were interested in him. He ended up staying to provide us with some extra depth. He played and scored in the under-23s match against Manchester United, scored direct from a free kick. So there's arguments that he could come in. I also have a feeling that we could see a couple of other under-23 players on the bench for this game. The likes of Folarin Balogun, for instance, could come in. Ben Cottrell could come in. William Saliba is not going to be available, which for a lot of people is frustrating. He wasn't given an opportunity to be in the squad for the Europa League, so he will maintain that position in the under-23s, possibly getting a late Premier League substitution experience. Who knows at this point? So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not we will field this team. So my question is, Wolfgang, is now you've seen that team that I've gone for, expecting to see kind of rotation in the Arsenal ranks, does that give you hope, and more hope that we're not going to... I mean, as you said, Aubameyang would have destroyed the back line, is what you talked about. So does that give you that kind of hope that you may be able to get something from that?
There's always hope. There's always hope, of course. If you're going to the game without any hope, you won't play. No, it's a good team. Arsenal is a good team. If don't care who's playing, they're all good. But I've seen as a young team, maybe a very unexperienced team, and this could cause them some troubles. Because Vienna is a team they're playing together since a long time. They have this is the starting 11. They only change on 2 or 3 positions every game, so they knew each other and they have their own game style. And I don't know how experienced is this team and how good it's their being together on the pitch. How often did they play together in this formation? How often did they play the midfield together in this formation? How often they played Murray and I guess Louis was the second centre back. Yeah. How often did they play together? And this all could cause them a lot of troubles against the weak team, Rapid Vienna.
Yeah.
And I said before to a friend of mine, I don't know, is Arsenal really seeing Rapid as a team?
Yeah.
Or is this just to go there to play 90 minutes football, to 3 points and go back? Because I've seen they will arrive today to Vienna. They did no last training in the stadium.
Yeah.
They only went to the hotel. There is no training from them. So yeah, I see a chance.
Yeah,
I see a chance, really.
I genuinely feel like a lot of Arsenal fans are underestimated Rapid in the game. I said that on the show last week. I think this is going to be easily our hardest game of the group, and even though I feel that there's rotation, I think that if Arteta had I think if he had the opportunity, if we had some easier sort of games in the weekend in the Premier League, if we were playing an easier side than say Leicester and then the week after Manchester United, we may have risked some of the bigger players. I still feel that there's a chance we can see the likes of maybe Willian or Pepe and Partey come in. I feel like Aubameyang will get rested. I would be surprised. Partey is still for me a really big question. He could come in to get minutes and experience ahead of the game at the weekend, and he's got the stamina and the engine and the fitness to be able to do that. So whether we see him or not, we'll have to see. I hope we do, because I'd like to see him play and get the minutes in. But yeah, final question before we wrap up. Akshat in the chat said, will fans be allowed in the stadium? So did you want to quickly cover that one?
Yeah, there will be fans in the stadium. Only 3,000 or more. So it's not the same atmosphere as it will be. If you know the atmosphere, you ever seen the atmosphere from Rapid Vienna supporters in our stadium? It's insane. It's amazing. I'm a supporter of a long time, and I also stand in the stands for a long time. I quitted to be there. I'm off now from the stands. I'm out of this scene. But if I think about it, oh, look at my hair. They're going up.
Yeah.
It's sad for me to not see this game with this atmosphere. I'm a big supporter from the English football. Working in England for a long time, working in an English company. I like the Premier League, and I always say to my wife, I like to see an English team play against my team. It happened some years ago against Manchester United. I had to work.
Oh,
the away game in Manchester, I didn't get any tickets, so I can't see this game. So I said one time they will play against an English Premier League team in Vienna again. Happened now. And what happened? And I can't see the game.
Yeah.
So there are 3,000 people in the stadium allowed. Masks, of course. They have all their own seats, masks, and the distance. But yeah, 3,000 is better than nothing. And I will attend this game only on TV.
Yeah, and I think watching it, I'm still assuming the Rapid fans, as you said, that the atmospheres that's created at that ground are absolutely madness, and so I think that I just realised in your
my cup is again here.
It's really trying to ruin your appearance today.
Look, I will give you some seconds. My cut. Look, now you're on. Now you're on tactical breakthrough.
There you go. Giving him the watch time. Give him the screen time. The exposure.
I do.
But I mean, those 3,000 fans, I'm hoping that they do generate still a level of atmosphere. They have the capacity to, even with the masks on and social distancing. So it's just going to be nice from an English perspective. I know in Austria they've been able to have fans there, but from an English perspective, just being able to watch a game that my team is included in with fans in the ground it's horrible to use the word nostalgic, but that's what it is now, because we're so used to there not being fans in the ground. So yeah, it's a real shame that the likes of yourself and that aren't going to be able to go to the game. The Arsenal fans won't be able to travel and experience that atmosphere in Rapid's ground. So finally, let's get a prediction from you for a scoreline. So what are we thinking?
I would say, with the formation you told me before, maybe a 1-1.
Okay, 1-1.
If it isn't this formation, and they will play some other guys inside, I will guess 1-3, 1-4.
Okay. It is going to be down to Arsenal's team selection.
100% then, for sure. I'm going to go for a 2-1 with the lineup I've gone for. I'm always optimistic, always positive, so I'm going to go with a 2-1. I have a feeling we may see some stronger players than I've gone for. I still think we'll see some heavy rotation with the games that we've got coming up. Thank you, Wolfgang. Much appreciated for your time. Do you want to tell people where they can find you on Twitter?
Instagram, LinkedIn, anywhere. People.
Anywhere.
Hope to see you there. Stay safe.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, you finished the last video you did for us with Wolfgang out, which was, I mean, I can't pull that off because my name is 3 letters and it's not exactly inspiring. So saying Tom out, it just doesn't work really.
It is.
But,
and just can I say in personal voice, guys, maybe I've seen what happened right now in Nigeria. You know, I'm a big fan of Nigeria. I love the people. I love this country. I like to stay there. But I'm trapped in Austria. But maybe none of you have seen what happened right now there. People get killed on the streets from police, military, in the government. And SARS.
Yeah.
Please go on Twitter. You see my eyes.
Yeah, it's horrible. And thank you so much for pointing that out. If you can do anything, people, to try and help and support that cause, 100% do it. So thank you ever so much, people, for tuning in. Make sure you go and follow some fantastic movements that are going on social media and give your 100% back into it. I would also like to send out some condolences again to Graham. If you haven't seen him or spoken to him, make sure you send him some really kind wishes for his unfortunate situation that he's in at the moment. Of course, Lee Judges was massively blown away by the support that he got as well for the situation that he was in. So yeah, it's been amazing, some of the support of you guys. One of the things we love about this channel is that everyone that watches it is massively supportive of so many different movements and stuff like that as well, and of course supporting people too. So thank you ever so much for that. We will see you again a little bit later this evening, actually, because we're going to be doing an interview with Arsblog and talking to him about a lot of the news articles and the news things that are going on. Wolfgang, thank you again, and thank you to your
You're
cat,
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you to your cat.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.
We'll have a catch up about the next game when it comes around.
All right,
see you very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal.
Bye bye.